Hello there. This is my corner tea bar, and I'm I've been procrastinating to make this video actually because it's three teas from the same place. Actually, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make one for each one of them, whatever. But now, now I'm like, nah, I don't want to do one for each one of them. It's from Stone. No, it's not Stone Leaf Tea. It's Far Leaf Tea. This is in California, Emeryville, and they have really good teas there. So this is gonna be Yunnan Hongcha, so Jianghong. One is gonna be Yunnan Gold. The other one is gonna be Yunnan Supreme and Yunnan Black, which is a used container, but I just put the black there. I'm going to not rinse these teas because really a good Jianghong, you don't want to be throwing away the rinse, right? So it's gonna be kind of a thing with all of them, in terms of just drinking the rinse. Mostly because there is something on the rinse that is not in the rest of the brews. That cocoa notes, that very strong malty flavor, and honestly, I feel like there is definitely a introduction that happens to the tea itself, kind of like gets you where you need to be, instead of just like starting from the back. Kind of weird. So this is a hat that I have laying around, and I thought I'll wear it. Why not? Okay, so let's start with the Yunnan Gold. It's pretty much, I would say, kind of like a silver needle of black tea. I see mostly big buds. This is Yunnan Supreme. Got smaller leaves. Actually, it's gonna be a lot more tea on this one than anything else. And this is the Yunnan Black. Those are the differences. So I warmed up a little bit the bottom of these guys, and I think that this Yunnan Black needs a little bit more, but I'm just gonna go with good ratio, just ratio. This has Yunnan Black, this is Yunnan Supreme. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that all those leaves that were in the water end up in the guy one. This one actually still has some water. This is the Yunnan Gold. In terms of like smelling the leaves when they're dry, I don't really smell much. Actually, not because it doesn't smell, it's because my nose is being affected by my job, being exposed to a lot of sawdust, and that makes it so my smell is a little bit compromised. So it will affect the way it tastes, but not as much. So Yunnan Black is definitely darker than Yunnan Supreme. and Yunnan Gold is straight up yellow. I'm gonna warm up a little bit the cups. And start some of the next batch of water. My dog is drinking water. That's what sounds like that. So let's start with the black. It's somewhat smoky actually, leathery. Not very sweet, like a more like elegant black tea type of thing. Yunnan Supreme doesn't have much of smoky-ish thing. It's just that classic Hong. You know the smell. And Yunnan Gold is just sweet, kind of like more of a white tea type of profile. Doesn't smell smoky at all, but it's more like an acid or tart type of smell on the black. Very similar, but more fruity and rounded on the Supreme. This one is very different, very fruity. I pick up a little bit of lychee and like peach. Like melon, one of those like orange skinned melons. I don't know how we call them. Honey crisp. Hey, go to your bed. Go to your bed. There you go. Good boy. So let's check it out. Black. Ooh, I almost put it on the water. Black. Yunnan Black. Definitely a daily drinker. A little bit of that metallic flavor that sometimes you can get with some red teas. He has more of a leathery kind of a character to it than fruity. Not astringent, not bitter. Very pleasurable. But more of a leathery thing. Way more fruity and chocolatey around my yeah, like chocolate, truffle chocolate around my tongue. Yes, way more malt like chocolate, kind of like Guinness, malt. It's a bit more like acidic, but it definitely has like a chocolate type of thing going on. I'm gonna take a little sip here to just clear my mouth. Yeah, cocoa and fruit, like dried fruit. Like if you were gonna make a chocolate out, like that had some dried fruit in it, like dried apricot or some, but without the acidity. It could be if you dried up lychee and make some slightly bitter chocolates, slightly dark chocolate, still milk chocolate, slightly dark chocolate with like a dried lychee filling. Kind of how it would taste. It's very not flowery, it's very like fruity and round dessert. It kind of like has a hint of like creme brulee or something like that. You know, no, you try one of those Mexican drinks like horchata or some sort of like a flan. Tastes like a flan almost. Yeah. Yes, that's it does not correspond that much to the nose, but it does taste like flan or creme brulee. So let's see second infusion, which will just show more of the actual character of the tea. Some water immediately in the kettle. Maybe a little bit extra. I think that for what we're doing right now, I should do four because the first one in Dianghong is just gonna be that range that's very chocolatey. It's gonna like put you in profile mode. It's like okay, this is how this is gonna go. Like clear your mouth and stuff. I don't think it's necessary for someone who's drinking tea like I am. I'm just like drinking tea. I'm not a professional. I'm not buying anything. I'm not tasting 100,000 teas, trying to pick one. So I don't have to be doing all this like slurping and smacking and gross, sounds. Hopefully, I'm not grossing you out with whatever sounds I'm making. I find that if I fill my mouth with the tea and I really let it go all around, like I have enough tea to just, you know what I mean? And I'm not getting drunk, I'm just having tea. If I have too much, then that's actually better. If I take half of whatever, like, is the first gulp and swallow it, and then I exhale, there is that in like more intense exhalation where you can basically like smell on the way out and experience the thing of honcha. That's what happens with black tea, and it really like gives you that feeling of how this tea is gonna be, and then swallow the second part of that gulp, and by that time your your tongue all around it is gonna be feeling it, all around. Your tongue has um, receptors, I guess you can call them, all around too, and they're important, not just the top. So I like to get my whole tongue wrapped around this stuff. You know what I mean? And also, like as I said, I'm not an expert, so if I don't like a tea, I just don't like the tea. It's gonna go on the bottom of the bin. It's gonna end up somewhere there. We're gonna end up giving it away to someone. Like yesterday, I gave away half a kilo, 500 grams of a tea that I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna drink this thing. So I'm excited to drink different teas, some other stuff. Definitely opened up more to more fruity kind of smells, aromas here. This is the black, the more intense, almost like um, yeah, it's almost like this one has a bit more acid smell right now, more on the side of fresh, open, like cigarette pack kind of thing. This one I'm a little lost here. Besides smelling like sugar, it really smells like brown sugar. The color is almost the same, being this one being more brown, black being more brown, and supreme being more red. And of course, this one is just yellow. Lychee, maybe. There is a kind of fruit that we eat in Chile that is called pepino, which translates to cucumber somehow, but it's not really a cucumber. I'm gonna have to look it up and put a picture. It reminds me of it now. Right. Yeah, this tea is great. It's sharp, more like a square, like a briefcase, like a leather briefcase. It's serious, you know. It's like the cover of a book, like a hardcover of a book. It's more acidic, more intense. Definitely like a higher, more intense brew than this one. I mean, there's as you saw when I showed you the leaf, there was a lot more like uh, shake there, you know, like broken leaves. So there's more surface, so it's brewing a lot more. It gives me that back of the throat kind of. You know, if I push here, I'm gonna get those like piercing kind of pains. Something that happens with Hongcha, you know, to me. Yeah, there's like a like a perfect temperature to drink this one, the Yunnan Supreme. I'll be back to the black one just to like see what's up with that. Yeah, this one doesn't give me that kind of like back of the jaw feeling, you know, that the Supreme gives me. It's not a bad thing, but it's a very particular thing that I find happens on Honcha. A little rinse here. Get it like to boil again. Okay, let's see. Very silky. A bit more astringent than I would have expected for buds. But it may be that my mouth is affected by the other ones. So very similar teas, comparing one against the other one is a difficult thing because you're gonna get some of that lingering flavor. So this is not perfect, but they're all three of them wonderful. And I have quite a bit of um, this one. That one I have, what is that? 2 ounces, and I have 1 ounce of this. They're not particularly cheap. but worth having in the arsenal. It's very delicious. It's a delight to drink that Yunnan Gold. I have to say, pretty good. Yeah, you got more. I got a lot of Hong chap. It's my thing. Ooh, I guess I boiled it again. Let's see. And I'm gonna take some out of this Supreme, but actually I'm just gonna brew it quicker. I don't want to be throwing away tea. Not that kind of guy. So one thing I observed with the black is changing into a more yellow type of color. This one is becoming more red, and this one is pretty much going to be like yellow. But there is a difference in clarity from the black to the Supreme. This one is like a jewel. This one it's a bit murky, but I think it has to do with the fact that there is a lot of shake in it. Then there was a lot of broken leaves in there, and there are different prices. The black one is cheaper. The Supreme is a little bit more expensive, and Gold is expensive. Supreme is definitely red, and Gold is now yellow, a little brown, and Yunnan Gold. So no, this is black and it's yellow, kind of like brownish, and the Yunnan Gold is absolutely um, yellow. It's just straight up. Guess I'm starting to get more to the watery part, so it will be a third one. I think that should be enough. Um, it is not fruity to me anymore. Still sweet and brown, silky. Delicious, man. Yunnan Gold, very nice. Okay, so at this point, honestly, there's not a lot of difference. I mean, my mouth is just not feeling anything. Not a lot of difference really between the Yunnan Gold and the Yunnan Supreme. And I'll tell you that Yunnan Supreme has just more to it, more complex. Yunnan Black is definitely watered down. So the longevity of these teas, it's I think the Yunnan Gold is and Yunnan Supreme are still going strong. The Yunnan Black is kind of like meh, little bit there, extra. I didn't get that. Yeah. So hopefully you got an idea of what it is Would I recommend these teas? Absolutely. They're delicious, each one of them. They're definitely something you want to drink every day if you could. But um, would I would I say go ahead and order them? Well, at least to try them. It may be that one of these becomes your favorite. Again, so we are all different. We all have different tastes in tea. Some people are like, I don't like Hongcha. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever you don't like Hongcha. Some people like the bitter stuff, but I don't like. Some people like flavored teas, like jasmine tea or whatever. And well, my thing, you know. But that doesn't mean there's not your thing. This one is kind of starting to get a little bit floral, in the sense of like nectar-ish floral. Like the sweet stuff that flowers have sometimes. This one remains like dried fruit. The first one that I said, this one was Gold Supreme, is like dried fruit ish, and the black one, it's it's a very nice black tea. It's not any longer like specifically different profile or leathery or anything. It's just good old black tea, at this point. So 3 steps in, and there's your regular Joe kind of. And I'll let you go. Hopefully you enjoy this one quick review. All the three of them from Far Leaves Tea all at once. See you next time.